So do you think you like your screeching brat? Well, of course I like him. It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. And you will, I've seen parents do this. It's like, they smile at their child when they should be stopping them. Half an hour later, maybe the kid's worked really hard on a drawing, you know, and is investigating, learning how to be skilled at drawing. And the kid's forgotten about the damn fight, runs into the kitchen to show mom or dad the drawing, and the parent's still seething away, and the kid shows the parent the drawing, and they go, oh, that's nice. It's like, well, that's the end of that. You didn't look at the damn drawing. You didn't notice the kid's trying to develop the skill. You didn't give them the feedback you should have because you hated the little wretch because you didn't say anything when you should have. And you pretended you were better than you are, and you're not. And now you missed an opportunity and you punished them for doing something good. And then you're justifying that by saying, well, I never say harsh words to my kid. It's like, that's because you're an idiot. Really, man, I mean it. And I see people do this too.
Let's talk about childhood. Not the nostalgic, rose-tinted version we sometimes daydream about, but the real, messy, complicated one that shapes who we are. You know, the one filled with awkward family dinners, confusing emotions, and moments that felt normal at the time but now make you go, wait, that was kind of weird, wasn't it? Here's the thing. Childhood isn't just a phase we outgrow. It's the foundation of our adult lives. And yet, despite its importance, it's the one subject we never actually study. Think about it. We spend years learning about algebra, the French Revolution, and the periodic table, but no one ever sits us down and says, let's analyze how your relationship with your parents is going to influence your future. Isn't that odd? Childhood is like the operating system of our lives. It's where we learn how to love, how to work, how to handle failure, and how to see ourselves. By the time we're 18, we've spent roughly 25,000 hours with our parents or caregivers. That's 25,000 hours of observing, absorbing, and internalizing their behaviors, values, and quirks. These experiences don't just vanish when we grow up. Instead, they become the invisible scripts we follow as adults. For example, if you grew up feeling like you had to be the fixer in your family, you might find yourself drawn to partners who need rescuing. If you were constantly told to be quiet or stop being so sensitive, you might struggle to express your emotions as an adult. These patterns aren't random. They're the echoes of your childhood. But here's the kicker. Most of us don't even realize how much our childhoods are still running the show. We go through life wondering why we keep making the same mistakes, why we feel stuck, or why happiness seems just out of reach. The answer often lies in those early years, buried under layers of forgotten memories and unexamined experiences. One of the biggest challenges of understanding our childhoods is that they often feel, well, normal. When you're a kid, you don't have anything to compare your life to. If dad was always angry or mom was always sad, that was just the way things were. If you were labeled the problem child or the golden one, you probably accepted it without question. It's only later, as adults, that we start to see how strange or even damaging some of those dynamics were. But by then, the damage is done. We've internalized those messages, and they've become part of who we are. For instance, maybe you grew up believing that success would make you unlikable because a parent resented your achievements. Or perhaps you learned to hide your true self because being authentic felt unsafe. These beliefs might have made sense in the context of your childhood, but as an adult, they're holding you back. The problem is, we rarely stop to question them. We just assume that's how life is. Here's the hard truth. If we don't take the time to understand our childhoods, we're setting ourselves up for a lifetime of unnecessary pain. No matter how successful we become, how many degrees we earn, how much money we make, or how impressive our resumes look. We'll still be carrying around the emotional baggage of our past. Anxiety, self-doubt, relationship struggles, and even career setbacks can often be traced back to unresolved childhood experiences. Take relationships, for example. If you grew up with a parent who was emotionally unavailable, you might find yourself drawn to partners who are similarly distant. Or if you were constantly criticized as a child, you might struggle with self-esteem and sabotage your own success. These patterns aren't just bad habits. They're survival strategies we developed as kids. The problem is, they don't work so well in adulthood. So what's the solution? It's simple, though not easy. We need to make understanding our childhoods a priority. This doesn't mean blaming our parents or wallowing in self-pity. It means taking an honest, compassionate look at our past so we can make sense of our present. It means recognizing that our childhoods weren't perfect, and that's okay. What matters is how we choose to move forward. Therapy can be an invaluable tool in this process. A good therapist can help you unpack those buried memories, challenge those outdated beliefs, and rewrite those old scripts. They can hold up a mirror to your childhood and say, "Hey, that wasn't your fault," or "You don't have to keep living this way." It's not about dwelling on the past. It's about freeing yourself from it. But therapy isn't the only way. Journaling, reading about psychology, or even having deep conversations with trusted friends can also help you gain insight into your childhood. The goal is to become curious about your own story. Why do you react the way you do? What are you afraid of? Where did those fears come from? These are the questions that can lead to real growth. Imagine if we treated understanding our childhoods with the same importance we give to math or science. What if, instead of just memorizing facts about the outer world, we also learned how to explore our inner world? What if we were taught how to recognize emotional patterns, how to heal from past wounds, and how to build healthier relationships? This kind of education wouldn't just make us smarter, it would make us happier, more resilient, and more fulfilled. The truth is, we can't change our childhoods, but we can change how we understand them, and in doing so, we can change our futures. So let's stop treating our pasts like a taboo subject and start treating them like the valuable resource they are. After all, the most important subject we'll ever study is the one that's been with us all along: ourselves.